I'm joined now by Brian Stelter, American journalist, former CNN correspondent, and now special correspondent at Vanity Fair, who has written books about Fox News and how that particular information machine works. Hello, Brian.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you. Nice to see you, Brian. What are your thoughts on this dismissal? What was your first reaction when you found out that Tucker Carlson had been fired from Fox News?
I was absolutely shocked. Tucker Carlson is one of the biggest stars on Fox. He's one of the leaders of the Republican Party. Even though he's not a politician, he's a TV star. And most people in the United States thought he was invincible, that he would never be canceled. But clearly, Rupert Murdoch is trying to make a change, trying to change the tone on Fox News. And I think it's very important and very significant that you're not going to be hearing as many of those anti-Ukraine, pro-Russia talking points on Fox now that Carlson has been fired.
So are you saying that with his firing, Tucker Carlson loses his platform? Or can he go somewhere else and promote his ideas there?
I do think he will have many other options for jobs within the right-wing media universe in the United States, but he will not show up on a place like CNN or NBC, which are more mainstream with millions and millions of viewers. Tucker Carlson has basically backed himself into a corner where he is only speaking to a minority of Americans, a relatively small group of Republicans who believe the rest of the country is out to get them. So, he will resurface, he will reemerge. Maybe he'll even launch his own network. But I don't think he's going to be as visible. He's not going to be as popular as he was on Fox, because on Fox, he had the biggest stage possible. There's simply no stage as big as Fox in the United States for Republicans.
It is interesting that he was only dismissed now. I watched your show on CNN and kept a close eye on what was happening on Fox. Tucker would say truly horrifying things about race, LGBT issues, not just the war in Ukraine and foreign policy in general. How and why did Fox tolerate this?
Fox tolerated him because of the high ratings and because he was saying what many of the viewers believe and what many of the viewers want to hear. And because he is a reflection of the radicalization of the right wing in the United States. But I think the question now is whether the people that own Fox, the Murdochs, are going to try to move it back to the middle, move Fox back to the center. And we don't know. We don't know what they're going to do yet.
So you think they'll find new presenters?
Yes, there are certainly a lot of options that Fox has, but there's nobody at Fox right now, except for Tucker Carlson, who pushes those lies about the Ukraine war. He was a uniquely toxic figure, uniquely conspiratorial. He was one of a kind in all the worst ways at Fox.
It is interesting that he just had an interview with Elon Musk, where they seem to find some kind of common ground. Before that, he had yet another interview with Donald Trump. Basically, Tucker Carlson was inescapable these past few years. Do you think he has a political future in the United States? Can you see it happening?
There have been rumors about Tucker Carlson as a presidential candidate in 2024. I do not think he will move in that direction. In Tucker Carlson's mind, he is more powerful on the outside than he would be as president. He thinks he was the boss. He thinks he's the leader of the party. So I think he will remain on the outside and try to influence the party as a television broadcaster or as a digital streaming, producer.
Finally, could you imagine that Carlson ends up in Russia?
I don't know what is in his heart. He's a provocateur, he's a troll, and he's an arsonist. He's one of those guys that just wants to sit back and watch the world burn. But now he cannot do that on Fox anymore.
That was Brian Stelter, American journalist and special correspondent at Vanity Fair, and the best expert on Fox News in the American media sphere. Thank you. That was really interesting. Let me also remind you that among conservative journalists, conservative meaning not in the Republican sense, but in the sense of a classical, traditional approach to journalism, there is a belief that Tucker Carlson cannot and should not be called a journalist. Instead, he is a showman, a propagandist. Call it what you want, but definitely not a journalist. We await him in Moscow, but let's move on for now.
We operated in Russia for 12 years, and the government tried to get rid of us 3 times. They got us on the 6th day of the war in Ukraine.
Мы временно приостанавливаем работу телеканала.
We left Russia, but we kept going. We have now decided to tell the truth about Russia, the war, and Russian society in English as well.
Kherson is Putin's 3rd major defeat in a row.
What is wrong with the Russian army?
Stories no one else can tell you. Hear it right from the source. Subscribe to our channel.